Hello, welcome to my plan with me. So, here's my first time at recording my process on a weeknight and doing a voiceover. So, hopefully, it goes well. Um, I have it sped up a little bit, and what I am doing right now is I am writing down what I was able to get done today, as well as updating my calendar as I work through things. So I actually have my computer open off to the side, and I'm going through my sent mail so that I can make sure that I am accounting for everything that I was able to get done today beyond what I accounted for in the moment. You see me flipping pages because I want to make sure that I didn't already note that it was done earlier in the day when I was in office. Um, and you will see, or sorry, I just took a phone call and came back from that phone call. And I actually had to take another phone call during this filming. It was an evening of calls. And so I'm actually noting right here the person that called me the first time was telling me that they needed to leave early tomorrow. So I wanted to make sure that I documented that. Now, as I'm going through these to-do lists, you will see in a moment that my Laban Rosa just stops writing mid-sentence. And for some of you that have watched my fountain pen videos, you know that I'm a little nervous about this pen. So I actually open it up, I start priming the feed, and I realize that it's pretty close to out of ink. So I'm gonna clean that out hopefully tonight and put in some Pilot Iroshizuku ink, which was one of the recommendations I got from a number of viewers. Now, while I am writing down my to-do list, I'm going to take a moment. I wanted to participate in the hashtag 8pen questions that is just occurring on YouTube. And I'm going to talk about the first question, which is, when did your fountain pen journey begin? So for me, my fountain pen journey began actually when I was in elementary school. I had a babysitter who was a high schooler that used a fountain pen, and I was enamored with her, with it, and just wanted to be like her. My mom got me a calligraphy set, which was good, not great. It didn't really meet the needs that I wanted it to meet, probably because I was using cheap paper and the ink just went right through the paper and I was young. So, then fast forward in college and in grad school, I used fountain pens to take notes, but I was using kind of a cheaper fountain preppy that you could get at Staples fountain pen. Then at one of my jobs, I was in a training position, and I actually had a participant in my training that had a pen clipped on her shirt. And I said, "Oh, I love your pen. Where did you get it?" And she said, "Oh, thank you. Oh, I don't know where you got it." And I said, "Yeah, because that's mine." And turns out she had taken it from my desk. So I was able to retrieve it back. Not long after that, I did upgrade to some nicer pens and got my first vanishing point. And from there, that just kind of changed things. So now I've moved on to updating my tracker. I pull out my TWSBI Eco Tea with jade and royal jade and rose gold and that's where my phone call came. So you see me pick up my pen. I'm marking in what I was able to get done, and in a moment I'll cross-reference to make sure I'm not fibbing, and I did actually get 10 things done. That's my goal each day. That will make me feel productive. And then I update my habits. I don't really get a whole lot recorded because I haven't done my full evening routine, but I did mark off work from home because I took all of those phone calls. Now I'm pulling out my cousin, and I'm going to start at the beginning and put in a little phrase for today. To kind of account for the day, I am going to pull back out my TWSBI Eco Glow Green and with the Ackerman 28 ink, and I've decided I'm going to alternate the weeks. So I had done Sailor Manyo Shirakashi last week because I just was finding every excuse I could to write with that pen, and now I'm going back to the TWSBI Eco Glow Green. Then I go over to my weekly, and I have some information to finish from Sunday evening. So I pull out my Ferris wheel press a gold-plated brush pen with Ferris Wheel Press Bruce County Post, and I fill out the evening from yesterday, and then I grab my Sailor Manyo nuts with Sailor Manyo Shirakashi, and I fill out what I was able to do today. Again, I cross-reference my work calendar, which is on the computer right next to me, to make sure that I get all of the scheduled things, but then I will also put the unscheduled things, like a student who wants a check-in with me, or a staff conversation that happened. Those things that you just can't really plan for, and quite frankly, my work calendar, if my boss were to look at it, is not going to know that I did those things. But this planner is going to account for that. So if I ever have to account for my time, here it is. I don't fill out any of the health information because it's on my phone and I use my phone to film. Now, next, I pull out my stickers, which are primarily Once More with Love and Coffee Monsters Co. I put a party sticker for yesterday because it was my father-in-law's 70th birthday. And as I flipped through, the sticker that said, ugh, really stood out to me for today. So I went ahead and popped that in. Then I go over to my journaling page and I decide I'm going to stick with the TWSBI Eco Glow Green. So I write that at the top. I did not put the high and low temperature because, again, that's on my phone. And then I write in a phrase or a word for the day. So today I chose emotionally exhausted. I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning this morning, could not fall back asleep. I ended up not doing my morning workout because I just was not here for it. And so I think the emotionally exhausted was pretty fitting for today. Then I proceed to do my journaling, and what you will see as I go through my journaling is I actually pause and flip back pages because as I'm journaling, I'm processing my day and I'm replaying my day and capturing the things that really stood out to me that are valuable or that I might want to look back on and reflect on as part of my own personal growth. So there are some thoughts that come forward while I do my journaling, and those thoughts could be tasks that I want to write down and capture on my task list, or it could be that I remembered that I scheduled something. So this particular day, I'm writing about the fact that I had multiple staff call out and I had multiple students absent, but then I also was able to get a couple of student meetings in. I have a student that is turning 14, and so it's his first time going to be part of the IEP team, and he needed to do a transition planning form. And so I had him meet with me to learn about it, gave him some time to think, and then today he met with me to finalize it so that I could transfer his IEP to his sending district. I also was able to get a couple of other appointments scheduled. I reached out to my therapist and got an appointment on the books. I had to cancel my last session because I burned my lip really bad and was not in a place to sit and talk for an hour. So I reached out to her to get that scheduled. I also reached out to my dissertation chair and got a check-in meeting with him scheduled as he's going to be traveling for a few weeks. So I want to get that in before he leaves. And I also reached out to the bride and groom yesterday. So I thought that tonight was going to be the wedding tasting, and I wanted to confirm that. And turns out they both thought that they had reached out to me. The best man was not able to join, and so instead of having their matron of honor and their best man, they wanted to have each of their moms come for the tasting. Completely logical. I get it. It makes sense. But they both thought that they had told me about that already. So that hopefully that is tonight. We've got some inclement weather, so I'm not sure if the moms are both going to be able to come up. Hopefully that they are. But If not, then if it gets rescheduled and I'm invited back, I will be very appreciative of that, but certainly would understand if they want to prioritize their family. Um, so, like I said, I just process my day and work through it. Now, in just a little bit, you're going to see my cat make a cameo. So, I have been suspecting, and I think it's confirmed, that my cat is drinking the water from my desk, um, which sometimes has some fountain pen ink in it. and so, while I was doing this planning and filming session, the cat hopped up onto the desk and um, popped his head in the camera. His name is Miles. My cats are Miles and Kilometers, but for short, we call Kilometers Meets. They are both brothers. They come from the same mom, but different litters, and they're a little bit over a year apart. Miles is the older one. He is a chunker munker, and he has been weirdly snuggly lately. It makes me a little suspect because that's not his typical MO, but I certainly enjoy it. And I actually had to cut out the very end of this footage because he knocked over the stand that I have my camera on. So instead of having you all see the camera topple, I just cut that footage out. Now, this is when I'm kind of wrapping up and just checking that I have everything done. I'm packing things up, and I start to write down a couple of additional things I wanted to do, like cleaning out my fountain pens and putting some fresh ink in the Laban Rosa. Like I said, I want to put Pilot Ero Shizuku. And then I actually pull back out my cousin because I want to track on my currently inked that I re-inked a couple of pens that I want to continue using for this month. And then I also put tally marks for each journal entry page that I do, so I can start to keep track of how far the ink goes. So that's what I'm doing here. And there's my cat again. All right, well, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I'm planning on doing this maybe a few times this week. We'll see if the editing is sustainable. Have a wonderful day.